Hello and welcome to another edition of the PHNX D-backs podcast. Oh, all over my computer right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montia. Of course, I am your mayor of PHNX, and I'm joined by the man that makes everything go around here. He's the real mayor around here. It's the one and only Jacob.
I'm very rarely on this side of the camera. I don't know what to do with my hands at this point. It's a little...
Well, thank you for joining me. I know it's a little, it's bright on this side. It's much darker on that side of the camera. But, of course, this show is brought to you by the fine folks at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our code of PHNX, and new customers can get down on the Stanley Cup action. Bet $5 on either NHL team to win their game, and you will get $100 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. Jacob, thank you for joining me, so I'm not here on this sad sweep episode alone. The Diamondbacks do get swept by the San Diego Padres, a Manny Machado-less San Diego Padres team, which...
Not worried.
Oh, I know you're not worried.
Not worried.
I know. You are an optimist. The glass is always half full with you.
The glass is always full.
It's full.
It's not even half full. It's just full.
It's full. No concern of losing this badly to... not only a team without Manny Machado, but obviously still without Fernando Tatis Jr.
No, and I think the losses would have been a lot worse had Tatis and Machado been around.
Sure.
And maybe I'd be singing a different song. And I don't know why, that wouldn't make me feel better if they were losing while they were there. But to me, I've said it after the Dodgers series, this team is not bad.
No, I agree with you.
They're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Like this Padres
makes a
team
lot of sense.
is in every facet of the game, pitching, defense, hitting. They're just better.
Sure.
Like, I don't know if it's the fact that their prospects or their players have had more time, but, I sit here, I drink my beer, and I think to myself, Alek Thomas is 22 years old.
Yeah.
And we're chilling. Like,
right.
There's no need to worry.
Right. And I think the thing with the Padres is when they are down without their stars, you see other guys step up. The Diamondbacks have been a well-rounded team, but they don't at times really have guys step up. Alek Thomas has probably been the one that's stepped up the most, right? I mean, the youngest guy on the team has the best batting average, best OPS, had a home run today, 2 hits, 2 for 5, just another outstanding effort. So Thomas seems to be like somehow the Diamondbacks shining, it's the one shining point with this team right now.
Yeah, the big thing for me is when this team goes, it's always going to be based off of the kids, right? Mm-hmm. Like we praise Christian Walker for how he's played all year, and he's got 19 home runs, and he's crushing the ball, and he's had some bad luck when it comes to his batting average on balls in play.
Yeah,
his hard hit rate's up, but at the same time, like in my head, I'm thinking, man. The only time this team ever seems to win games is when Dalton Varsho's hot and Alek Thomas is hot and Zach Gallen's weaving a gem and Ketel Marte's doing his thing. Like, It's going to be the kids.
Right.
It's always got to be the kids. And so to me, being 7 games under 500 at this point in the season, I mean, we're 19 wins away from even matching last year's total in wins. If we pass that number by, the end of July, maybe beginning of August. I'm like I said, I'm chilling.
Everything.
I'm not worried.
Well, and
I was hoping for 75 wins this year. Being completely honest and forward about all of that. 75
would have been good for you.
Made me happy.
Sure. And I think that's the thing is the goalpost changes, right? The expectations change, especially with how good they were for a stretch. We were 3-4 games over 500. Things were looking like this team could be much better than we anticipated. Now they sit at a season low, 7 games below 500, and they have a really hard stretch coming up that we're going to talk about. But things aren't going to get easier for this team at this point, and I think, we kind of discussed it yesterday. This is probably about what we're going to see out of this team, and that's
You're
not
going to float
bad.
In this range all year.
Right, and it's going to be right around here, but it's not terrible. It's just not really seeing anybody like Madison Bumgarner. You talk about the young guys. Madison Bumgarner, not good today. 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, 9 hits, just not effective out there. And that's, again, I guess part of the encouraging part is he's really not a big part of their long-term plans going forward. No. So once his contract is no longer part of this team, things look a bit different, but right now with he being the highest paid player on the team, you're still looking for him to come out and deliver. And he had the, kind of hot start. So
yeah, part of it's
felt like
trade value.
That's a big part of it.
I mean, part of that is trade value.
Right,
You want
absolutely.
him to play well because moving the contract gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you're eating a good amount of that contract if you move it.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me is, I mean, it's unfortunate, but at this point, the way he's performed, you're eating a lot of his contract. I still think you get rid of him.
Yeah.
I still think he finds his way to another market, but you're eating a ton of that.
He still has a sub-4 ERA. 2 of the runs today weren't earned, so that always helps. But Luke Weaver, not good. Luke Weaver continues to be, I mean, it seems like he went from that start, he had the one encouraging outing after he returned from the injury, but today, he lasted 1 inning, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and his ERA right now sits at 14.04. So things aren't great for Luke Weaver.
I wonder if Paul Goldschmidt would have a better ERA.
Why do you have to do that? I already felt bad enough. We were sitting here, things weren't great, but then you had to bring Paul Goldschmidt, who's having just a career year. By the way, I think he's the leader in votes for the All-Star game, by the way.
He is.
So,
he is.
yeah.
We love ourselves some Paul Goldschmidt here in Phoenix.
Remember when we had to campaign for him to get into the All-Star game? Oh, don't even get me started.
And I'm the last person that is anti-Mike Hazen. I think Mike Hazen is the general manager you want to keep around in this organization. But part of me feels like holding on to Luke Weaver to this point has been just a little bit of a
an ego thing.
Can we salvage that
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form?
Like if he was somebody else they acquired in some other way, they probably would have parted ways with him at this point. But they're trying to make that
and
trade.
it could have been
still.
injuries. It could have been injuries.
It seems to be that case, right? Like right when he starts having problems, when he's having some rough outings, there tends to be some sort of injury. With the injury list. Yeah. So, and again, I know that it can be manipulated, but sometimes to talk to Torey Lovullo off the record, I mean, he will tell you straight up, I have nothing to do. When they tell me that guy's pulled, he's pulled. I can't say, no, he's not really that injured. It's sometimes they want to hesitate to jump to the 10-day IL, for instance, because then that means he's going to miss 10 days from the date from
you're obligated.
Right. They'd rather go to day if a guy can, possibly be back soon. But I mean, the medical staff some days is going to tell them day to day ain't happening. Right. But Ketel Marte still seems to be a guy dealing with a bit of an injury, and we hope that we see him bounce back because there's a good chance he could be the Diamondbacks' only representative in the All-Star game.
The Ketel Marte hamstring injuries are almost an enigma to me because it seems like the one thing that constantly plagues him. And I don't know if it was he at one point hurt his hamstring and just didn't fully recover before coming back. And then the damage to this point is you would have to sit out for a long time to ever come back from that. But if they, and it seems like they do by signing him to the contract, want him to be a part of that long-term picture. Yeah. Right there. He's the second baseman to them on the next great Diamondbacks team, right?
That's what the contract extension was for.
Right. So to me, it's really hard for him to be able to be that if he doesn't fully recover from that injury because he's missing so many games throughout a season. I mean, we saw it 2 years ago, we saw it last year, and we've seen it twice this year. and it's becoming a pattern.
No, I know. Today I got a stitch in my side laughing, and I thought I was going to die, Jacob. And then the weird part about it was then I come in here into this office and I see the ASU show, and Totri in a holiday draft decides to take Juneteenth. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the PHNX ASU show, but this is one you shouldn't miss because their drafts are incredible, and more importantly, it was a wonderful defensive move to take it before Sean could take it, and he knew it would infuriate Sean.
Was flabbergasted.
It was amazing. I laughed so hard, Jacob, that I never thought I was going to recover from that stitch in my side. And that, I mean, I know I'm 41 years old. Injuries like a stitch in my side don't just go away. They're permanent for guys like me, right? But I get what you're saying because the hamstring thing is I've pulled a leg muscle and then tried to still do my daily workouts and stuff, and it's incredible.
It's hard.
Hard. Jacob, I had to have my hip x-rayed after Broomball. I actually had to have my hip x-rayed.
Derek,
Okay?
I just think that means you're getting old.
No, I don't want it. No, that's not. We're not addressing that. What we're addressing is pain and how much my hip still hurts from broom ball, which happened over 10 days ago now at this point. I think we're moving on 2 weeks, right? We're
Emma,
2 weeks
are you
away?
No.
No. Not like
Emma's
okay.
like Emma's 15 years old. Are you kidding
Bro,
me?
bro, no. Do not. No. First of all, for everyone listening, I'm 20.
Oh, allegedly.
Thank you.
Oh,
And no. I have bruises and dents from fucking Derek.
Hey, whoa.
What do you mean, hey? You
Hey.
I wasn't even
Bro.
there, and I know Saul checked you into the board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Saul
That's
did check
right.
me into the
See?
boards, but that didn't.
I wasn't the only one that hit you with the broom, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Well, the main one, the one that left a fat bruise.
Yeah.
That one has Derek written all over it.
Hey, all right. Good to know.
Derek,
Good to
do I
know.
need to make sure you aren't harassing my producers?
No.
Yes.
What you need to
Father
do
Jacob,
is get us
protect
back.
us.
We need to
Father
get us back
Jacob.
on the broom ball ice is what we need to
Yes.
do because
Josh, I think it's about time for a hip replacement.
I
Derek.
actually thought that was going to be something that I was going to have done. Like when they told me that they should probably x-ray it, that was a humbling moment, folks. That was a humbling moment to be told your hip needed to be x-rayed. But hopefully, going back to the actual point, Ketel Marte can get
Yes.
right? Because
Yes, because you need him.
well, and this is one of those seasons. Who gives a shit, right? Like, if he isn't right, there is no reason for this team to be jeopardizing, especially a key piece to their future, his health, just to win games in a, I'm not going to say it's a meaningless season. It's baseball, but we know that this isn't the year that even the front office is saying that they're going to win, right? Everybody's being pretty reasonable about this season. So what we're
not the expectation.
Right. So it's like, why rush Ketel in any way, shape, or form? You know, the Diamondbacks aren't going to have a lot of representation in the All-Star game. Chances are Zach Gallen will probably be it. Ketel Marte might sneak in,
Rightfully
but
so.
rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Right. But if it was up to me, I'd put Jordan Luplow in just for that inside the park home run the other day because that was amazing. And I've never seen. I didn't know he could run that fast, but it was the first
27.7 feet per second.
That was a pretty good. That was a good. That's a Statcast breakdown on that run. That was pretty good.
27.7 was the fastest he got.
First by a D-back since Cole Calhoun did it. Another guy that had no business getting an inside the park home run on August 5th, 2020 against the Astros. So
how long until Alek Thomas gets the next one?
Before the end of the season. Before the end of the season,
okay.
And in a really like odd ballpark, like the way like San Diego is weird.
If they go to San Francisco and he hits the gap in right center field,
he could get there.
Oh, I mean,
yeah,
that's
without
triples
doubt.
alley for pitchers.
Yep.
That's Alek Thomas might score twice.
That's right. He's gonna hit one into McCovey Cove. That's what's gonna happen. I'm predicting it now.
Splash down.
Splash down. Speaking of splash down, we're enjoying ourselves some Four Peaks Brewing Company brews right now. Of course, you can too. You can pick them up not only at your local convenience store or grocery store, but go down to the Four Peak Brewing Company, go to their locations and enjoy yourself, not only their wonderful food, but the wide array of beers that they have. They're all delicious. No matter what your preference on beers is, Four Peaks has one for you. And I discovered the draft room, and I'm probably going to get thrown out of that a lot. But if you're at Chase Field, make sure to check out the Four Peaks draft room because they have probably the best selection of draft beers in the entire ballpark available at the Four Peaks draft room. So go check that out for sure. And check us out at Four Peaks Brewing Company in Tempe next Wednesday. We will all be there.
All of us.
Jake, it's a nightmare for Jacob, but the rest of us, we're just going to be drinking and laughing and having a good time. Jacob's just going to be like having a heart attack about internet connections and logistics and computers and cameras and all sorts of stuff. It's going to be great. But definitely join us down at Four Peaks Brewing Company for all of our shows. We'll be there all day. So join us.
Josh, are you joining us?
Josh?
That makes it seem like he's coming to join us, but evil Derek.
What did I do?
What did Derek do?
What did I do to Josh Hunt besides support you and love you in every way? That's my question. But did they say no hurting the Emma? No, there is no hurting the Emma. Absolutely not at all at any point.
Josh is coming.
Josh will be there. That's awesome.
And we won't hurt the Emma.
Yeah.
I was not at Broomball to protect Emma from all of the abuse that was thrown her way.
Wait, who's going to protect me from Emma? Emma was the aggressor in most of these situations, is what I'm saying.
Guys, I'm 120 pounds and 5'8".
again,
How am I the aggressor?
Again, are we hearing this? Yeah, I think it makes all the sense in the world here that Emma was the aggressor. Much like the day that Cheerston at Four Peaks Brewing Company just came up to me and checked me up against the wall, smacked my beer out of my hand, talked bad shit. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But of course, you could see Cheerston probably do that again if you join us on Wednesday. So make sure to enjoy Four Peaks no matter how you get it, and enjoy responsibly, 21 and over only. Also, make sure to sign up for our website over at gophnx.com if you haven't done so already. Jesse's actually going to have quite an extensive piece on Alek Thomas and his case for being Rookie of the Year. It's going to be a tough season with a lot of big names out there as young guys in this league, but it's going to be exciting to watch, and Jesse will have that covered for you comprehensively over at gophnx.com. It's a great article, so make sure to sign up if you haven't done so already. You can get yourself an annual membership. If you get yourself an annual membership, you get a free t-shirt over at the PHNXLocker.com. Also, no matter your membership status, you'll get discounts over at the PHNXLocker.com. You can get a month-to-month membership, and you'll get your first month for just 50 cents. So no matter what membership you choose, join us in the members-only Discord, where it's either poppin', like Sean poppin', or it's, sad boy hours when we're losing 10-4 like we were today. But it doesn't matter. We still have a good time regardless of how the team does. So make sure to join us and become part of the PHNX family. We talked about Christian Walker, of course, hitting home run number 19.
It was a missile.
It was a missile. And
it was a missile.
He now has the most solo home runs in the National League with 14 solo home runs.
I mean, they are a boom or bust team.
They're a boom or bust team.
Just a boom or bust team.
But there shouldn't be 14 of his 19 shouldn't be solo.
No.
Right? And I mean, that's the weird thing about it for a team that has such a problem with hitting with runners in scoring position, that they have no problem hitting the hell out of the ball when there's no ducks on the pond, or snakes on the plane, as I like to say.
At some point, I know they're trying to protect him right now, but Alek Thomas, to me, at some point needs to find himself, when Ketel Marte is in the lineup every day, needs to find himself somewhere in the 1 hole, the 2 hole, the 3 hole.
The man has your highest OPS.
Somewhere
right?
at the top of the order, because you are, and as much as I love Jordan Luplow, you're throwing him out there as a leadoff batter, and Carson Kelly had a good game as a leadoff batter.
But still not the guy you want in that role, because not a guy that's doing it consistently.
Yes.
It's not to say that, again, that day, Lovello was right? He got on base, and then Luplow came up right after him and hit a home run, so it made him look like a genius of putting those two guys up at the top of the lineup. But just you want more consistency, and right now, Alek Thomas is your most consistent body, right? You want him on base for Christian Walker to come up and drive him home. Or, I don't know, maybe the thought process is Christian Walker doesn't hit with guys on base, so maybe we want the bases free so he can have a free open mind and hit. I don't know, but the home runs are great.
Kind of struggles with men on base.
How good would he be in the All-Star game for the home run derby then? There are no men on base.
Great.
It's just one solo home run after the next.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets in?
No.
Is it notoriety?
No, it's notoriety.
Yeah.
It's all notoriety. That the home run derby is constantly just a who's who of who.
But I don't know. For me personally, even as a baseball fan, I find that there's times where there's people I have no idea who the hell this guy is, and they're like, "Oh, this is he had 12 home runs this year or something," and you're like, why is some no-name guy who hit 12 home runs, up? But it's because I'm not familiar with that team and that fan base.
Right.
It's a younger guy, somebody they were excited to see, and now he's kind of raking. It's like he might not have the most home runs, but he's up there in the top 10 of the league.
I'll tell you this, Jazz Chisholm will be in the home run derby.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Because every single time Jazz Chisholm hits a home run, that shit ends up all over the internet.
People love that dude. People love him. I mean, it's wild.
Is and I'm I'm completely going on a tangent here with this.
Please do.
But the other thing is, okay, I might catch some hate for this from baseball fans, but Jazz Chisholm is hitting, the last I checked, and this was a couple days ago, 239.
241 right now.
Yeah, 241 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And people are constantly saying, oh, the D-backs gave up Jazz Chisholm. Oh, the D-backs gave up Jazz Chisholm. And I'm sitting here give up Jazz Chisholm for Zach Gallen, and I will take that any day that ends in Y.
Yes. Add the return part on there. Don't say they just gave him up, right? Say they gave up Jazz Chisholm for Zach Gallen. That is a complete sentence. Saying that they just gave up sounds like, oh, there's another guy. It's kind of like what I saw with the All-Star voting, right? People were kind of upset because when you look around, there was 9, maybe 10 former Diamondbacks that you could see that were in the top 10 and voting in their positions for their respective teams, right?
Yeah.
But that's baseball, right? Like a lot of these guys play for a lot of teams, so there's a lot of teams that could say like, hey, there's a lot of our former guys up there, you know?
I know what they're talking about.
They really do. I don't even need to check in with them. I know these people know what they're talking about, but you know, it is one of those things that like, I don't know. You can't always look at the fact that this guy used to be on your team and, you know, regret it. Paul Goldschmidt is a completely different story, right? That's a once in a generation player that you drafted. That man would have had a statue one day outside of Chase Field, right?
He still might end up with a retired number. I would not be surprised.
He might.
I mean, he played what, 8-9 years here?
He was here for a long time.
I think it was about 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, because he had the first run after being drafted, and then he had the 5-year
extension. But I don't regret
extension.
losing Jets Chisholm.
Not even a little bit.
Not even.
It's kind of like Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson thing sucks, right? But I don't. It's not. You know.
Carroll.
Yeah.
Alek Thomas.
Right.
Christian Robinson.
I'm glad you throw him in there.
Drew Ellis is gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Drew Jones or Elijah Green.
That's exciting. That's exciting. That's something to look forward to. The draft is coming up, and of course we're going to be covering it. One exciting part is we are going to be at the All-Star game. We're going to be there with our fellow friends from DNVR and CHGO. So we're going to be having a blast, and I think we're going to be breaking down the draft as well, not only for our respective beats, but for the entire Major League Baseball. So make sure to tune into that next month because that is going to be exciting. And we're going to be traveling. We're going to be covering this team. We're going to be doing some fun things. So make sure to stick around and do that with us. Christian Walker, as we were talking about, had a pretty good... Before you derailed this whole thing on your Jazz Chisholm thing, but he's our king of the series because you should bring him, like I said earlier, all of the Father's Day, the bad Father's Day gifts that you bought your dad that he doesn't want. Bring him to Christian because he deserves them. 363 batting average, had the big home run today. Walk, 2 RBI. It continues to improve. And again, it's really the batting average. It's those numbers that, I mean, the batting average is really the one thing that makes people say Christian Walker isn't an all-star, right? It's the batting average. But when you look at the amount
everything
else is fantastic, right? I mean, it really is. RBI is a little low, but Jesse and I constantly bash RBI for being a stat of circumstance. It's not about right. But you know, Christian Walker again, he is one of those guys where they're going to probably look at his defensive runs saved at the end of the year, and he's probably going to lead the league, not just lead first baseman, but he'll probably be up there with the top players in all of baseball for defensive runs saved. So somebody that definitely deserves his flowers, and we are happy to give it to him even after the Diamondbacks get swept. But of course, he is our DraftKings King of the Series. If you haven't done so already, make sure to sign up for the DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, the Stanley Cup Finals is going on right now, and you can bet on it using our code of PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on either the Colorado Avalanche or those Tampa Bay Lightning guys to win their game. And it doesn't matter if they win or lose. You'll get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the Stanley Cup Finals. Must be 21 or older. Arizona only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And I had said that you need to bet on the Colorado Avalanche. And of course, the day I said that is the day that they lose one of the Stanley Cup games. But
we are bad luck for DNVR.
We really are bad luck for DNVR
because the Avalanche were winning games.
Yeah.
The first 2 games of the series. After all of the PHNX Coyotes crew said, bet on the Lightning.
Yeah.
Bet on the Lightning.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they get mad at us for saying, bet on the Lightning.
Oh. Well, then they brought it on themselves.
And so we completely reversed because we were like, all right, we'll support all city.
We could have continued to say bet on the Lightning. It would have been a clean sweep in the Stanley Cup.
They just didn't realize that the Arizona thing would just become their thing.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know about... like the heart, they don't know about the heartbreak and the devastation. The devastation. Oh, it's it's kind of like the Arizona Heat. You got to open the door for devastation, let it hit you in the face, and kind of soak in a little bit before you can really take on being an Arizona sports fan. But of course, make sure to go bet on the Colorado Avalanche. I'm not changing my mind on the DraftKings Sportsbook. I bet against the Coyotes all season long and won all sorts of money. And then I started betting on the Avalanche to win, and I won even more money. So Again, I don't know. That's all I can say. But that you do what you want to do at the DraftKings Sportsbook, and that's the beautiful part about it. So many options over there, and make sure to use our code once again of PHNX. Looking ahead at the schedule, Jacob, things are not getting any easier. They get easier for just a little bit after this series with the Padres. We do have a 3-game set with the Detroit Tigers.
Kind of a bob and weave.
It is a little bit of a bob and weave.
Like some weirdness.
Well, here's the thing is I've learned not to take bad teams for granted when it comes to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I'm very worried about this
Tigers.
Tigers
Against the Twins.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's because they oddly step up to play really good teams, but they didn't in the Padres series.
No,
Detroit comes
Padres
to town.
Are better than the Twins.
They are kind of better than the Twins.
Slightly.
Yeah, but the Tigers are their last chance to get right, because after that, they have 21 straight games against the National League West leading into the All-Star break. 21 straight games.
Fuck it. Call up Corbin Carroll. Just bring him up.
Just do it now.
Just bring it up.
Yeah, why not?
Stone Garrett, find him. Bring him up.
Stone Garrett. Yeah, let's get some of these
Everybody.
pictures of Corbin Martin had a really great outing.
Struck out 13 guys.
Yeah, struck out 13. So let's get him up here. We can use all the help we can get. The Arizona Diamondbacks are currently 5-16 this season against the NL West, and they have 21 straight games. It's like the Padres and then the Rockies and then the Giants and then more Padres or more Rockies and then more Giants.
Okay, in those 21 games, what's your record prediction?
Ooh, pain. My prediction is pain, Jacob.
I predict pain.
Okay, so we're talking 21 games. I would expect them to go 7-14 in those 21 games.
Okay, you're a little less optimistic than I am, because 6 of those games are against the Rockies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but they're...
right, so I think 5-1 in those. The Giants...
That's a bold prediction against the... You just keep kicking
so
the
bad.
DNVR guys when they're down. What's wrong with you? All right. Well, we need to win the All-City division.
I'll go 9-12.
All right. 9-12?
9-12.
I wouldn't be too upset about that, despite the fact that it's like on the road and home. But speaking of the All-City division, the only division that currently matters for us because the NL West is a nightmare, Diamondbacks still kind of nipping at the heels a little bit of those White Sox. Very funny thing that happened in the White Sox game today, and I got to give them a shout out for that. But of course, like you said, there's the Rockies behind us, Cubs way back. Got to make sure we stay ahead of the Rockies no matter what in the All-City Network division. So that is something that is an imperative. I hope we do go 5-1 against them, like you said.
Can't be worse than the Cubs.
If you haven't had a chance to see what happened with the White Sox today, it was an absolutely hilarious story where the umpire from last night's game had quite a bad night, we will say, to put it lightly. I think he got around 65% of his strike calls correct. Now, just to give you an idea, the average in baseball right now is 88% for called strike accuracy. And let's just say that this was considerably lower. Let me pull up. 64% is what Doug Eddings had in the Toronto versus the Chicago White Sox game. Now, here's the thing, Jacob. The Chicago White Sox won that game. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate this level of pettiness, but today they sent their hitting coach up to bring his lineup card to the officiating crew, just so that the hitting coach could give Doug Eddings one last piece of his mind about yesterday's game. And Doug Eddings tossed him before the game even started, just in case you were wondering how that went. The overall favor was 2.03 runs in favor of the Chicago White Sox. So I don't really know what the White Sox had to complain about, but it is what it is. It's very funny to me, though.
Umpires are just an enigma.
I don't get it. We talked about the robot umpires yesterday. There's not even a real robot back there, Jacob. I'm so pissed about it. There's no real robot. It's still a man, human man.
It's just a person that gets a call.
He doesn't even have a robot arm or anything.
But he gets a call relayed into his ear,
right? From it's like 12 camera angles looking at home plate.
And then he gets just look at the front.
Because you need this.
I guess you need the
you need
the top.
over.
You need over.
You need over, right? But I mean, it's because we overdo things, right? We go from not having a robot to having 12 robot eyes on it, but then still not an actual robot behind the plate. I was like cannon arm shooting the ball back to the pitcher and stuff. It could have been awesome. But anyway, still what we have is
64% is
it's god awful.
it's atrocious.
I feel like you and I could go back there with very little training and get higher than 64%, right?
I mean, I'm like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could get there the whole game.
Oh, come on.
That's a lot for my knees.
I mean, you're right. That is
It's
a
a
lot.
lot for my knees.
I think you would get a good downward angle at the plate, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll act. Here we go. I'll act as the overhead.
Yeah. And then you relay it down to me, and I'll be
And
like,
you act as the behind
as
the
the
plate.
behind. Yeah. I call a wide strike zone.
Plans.
Just letting you know that.
Plans.
Anyway, this is what we do, and of course, we're excited to eventually take over as umpires. Any chance you'd ever actually want to be an umpire? Like, what a
No.
shit. Who wants to
No.
be an umpire? That's another thing we talked about yesterday.
No,
I still
it will
can't
not
get over.
sacrifice. It will not sacrifice.
No, I mean she's right. I mean it's not hard. We're asking you for 9 innings. We're not asking you to do more than that.
9 innings.
9 innings.
No.
Yeah. Today's game
No.
was almost 4 hours long, so I mean,
No.
I don't know what to tell you, but
We had a great day.
we ate hot dogs. Jacob and I ate hot dogs and watched baseball. So of course you don't get any better than that. We could have had some OGs, of course, but we have work to do. Still, you can take some OGs. You can find them at a local dispensary near you. Of course, our friends at OGs make some amazing scratch-made THC gummies. They asked me to be their male model today, by the way, after I posted a picture of me at like 8 years old modeling. I knew this day would come. I was waiting for it. That's my purpose for putting that out on Twitter. But I'm excited to launch my career as OG's newest male model. And I'm also excited to see all of you guys, and especially Jesse, out at the OG's Maya Day Club for a takeover that they're doing. They're going to have a summer party out there, all sorts of limited edition swag and OGs and all sorts of stuff to enjoy. It'll be at Maya Day Club this Saturday on June 25th. I'm not going to make it through this weekend, so Jacob's going to need to figure out a way to cover me because I have a concert on Sunday that's outdoors, and then I'm going to this pool party on Saturday that's outdoors. I'm going to be burned to a crisp, dehydrated, and just useless. So this is my way of telling you now so that you can accept it on air without overreacting or getting angry at me. Anyway,
What time's your concert?
OG's, it's a Halsey. We'll talk
What
about
time's
it.
the concert?
You're
Oh, it's
going
pretty
to
late.
a Halsey concert, Derek?
I'm going to a Halsey concert, yeah.
Derek, what?
My sister-in-law just went to a Halsey's concert.
Was it the one at the Hollywood Bowl?
No, it was in Washington.
Ah, okay. Well, Halsey's awesome. You guys
Also,
learn something new about me.
I'll
every
take
day.
your word for it.
Yeah.
also, guys, Avs are down one to the
Oh,
Lightning.
we did it
Tough.
again.
They're
Oh, well.
down.
Well, what we need is some OG's limited seasonal flavor pina colada gummies to get us through.
That'll get them headed in the right direction.
Not for them, for us. It's not for them. It's for
No,
us, and it's for the DNVR guys because they're going to need it after their
I was
time
going to
off.
say, we need to send some to DNVR.
Yeah, we'll send them
I
a
think they're
care
struggling.
package. Of course, check out OG's online at ogsbrands.com or on Instagram at ogsbrands.com or at ogsbrands. That's OGEEZ brands, wherever you're checking that out. Make sure to check out your local dispensary. You must be 21 years or older to purchase and enjoy. So do that. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Of course, make sure to go to DraftKings. Use our code of PHNX if you haven't done so already. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at cap_caveman with a K. Jacob is at Jacob_Franklin4. Our show is at PHNX_DBacks. But of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss any of the hot content we have coming out live whenever we go live, like this show. We might have gone 5 minutes earlier, 10 minutes later. How would you know? You wouldn't without subscribing and notifying yourself. So make sure to do that. And also, if you're listening to us on your favorite audio podcasting app, please make sure you're subscribed there and leave us a 5-star review because Jacob is a 5-star producer and a 5-star man.
Don't call me a producer.
Emma's
a producer.
Are you he's the king of the producers, I
I'm
think.
king producer.
Yeah, king. I'm sorry.
Correction,
King
That
father.
is how I will introduce you on this
Father.
show from now on.
Correction, father.
Father
Well,
producer.
So
Ooh,
no,
that's weird.
because Shane is DJ father, and I feel like you can't do that. Chat, what should I be? I'm not producer.
By the way, Totri is MC Tater Tot now. It's Tot. I know it's not the same thing, but Totri. Yeah, Tater
okay.
Totri. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, we're
I
making
get you.
If you guys want nicknames, we'll get you
We're
nicknames
making this
as well.
longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely. We thank you guys so much for being here. We're happy. We'll take all day if we want to. God damn it.
I'll order us more hot dogs.
I decide when the show ends, and I swear to God, it will end when I want it to end. We thank you guys for joining us. You can follow us on Twitter, do all that stuff. We appreciate your time. D-backs, get your shit together. There's a lot of NL West teams coming up on your schedule, and things do not look great. But again, on behalf of Jacob and myself.
That's kind of a technical term, Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. Executive producer. That's not nearly as neat as king producer. I
Overlord
like that.
Jacob.
Overlord Jacob. Yeah. We're getting some good ones here. Let's cut this off before Jacob gets a big head. But
land the plane, Derek. Land the plane.
He yells this at me when he's not here too. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for joining me on behalf of Jacob and myself. We appreciate your time. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you don't have to play 21 games in a row against the National League West.